Hi, I'm Alex Lindahl, and this is my story. I had like a normal childhood or whatever, and I was really young, but when I was 13, I had this boyfriend who was older than me. He was 15, 16, and I hadn't been really with him that long, but after a while, his parents didn't want him anymore, so they put him up for adoption, and then he got really depressed, and all the while, when he was taken away, I was pretty messed up too. I was like, oh, this sucks. And then he ended up committing suicide, and that, when I found that out, I just kind of I got really messed up. I didn't want to get out of bed. I was like, this is so lame, what am I gonna do? And it was the summertime, so after a while I just kind of did whatever, try to get out of that depression mode. And then I met this other kid, and I met this kid online, and he was 17, and I texted him, it was nothing big or whatever, but my dad didn't like it. So my dad called him, and he was like, you need to stop talking to my daughter. And that made me I was like, well, now who am I going to talk to? I had friends, but I don't know. So then the memory of my boyfriend committing suicide got brought back up, and then I ended up I started cutting myself. I was just I was really messed up. I'd cut myself. I'd get super mad, and I'd be like, no, I'm going to go cut myself. And then I've tried to commit suicide 3-4 times, all failed obviously, but I was just fed up with life. Me and my mom went to the library one day, and as I was getting back in the car because we were leaving, my mom was like, what's on your arm? I was like, oh, the dog scratched me. She was like, no, let me see your arm. And she looked at it and she freaked out. She was like, you're cutting yourself, what's wrong with you? Throughout this whole thing I believed in God, and I'd even be I'd pray to him and be like, God, help me. But it seemed like nothing was working, and I'd been baptized, but I didn't know what it was. I didn't know what believing in God really was. So we moved back to Vegas, and my sister and my brother Mark still lived here, and they were like, hey Alex, go to this one church. It's a really small church. They had it in their houses and stuff. They had a trip, and my mom was like, you're going on it. So I ended up going on it, and while I was there, just God really touched me. They did so many things, and I just felt the love of God, and I was like, wow, I'm really not worth any of that depression stuff, because I know I'm people love me. I'm worth so much more than this. What am I doing to myself? So that's when I really first started believing in God, and felt his love on my life. So then after the trip, I just kind of started going to church more. I was more involved. I stopped hanging out with the people I was hanging out with, started hanging out with church kids, and just got really involved. And then I started going to ICLV, and once I started going to ICLV, things just kind of took off, and my life's completely changed. Everything, youth group, my relationship with God is greater, because I know he is there, I know he loves me, and I know that when I'm feeling like that, I have him to go to, and he will heal me, because he has healed me. If I had to give parents a word of encouragement, I'd have to say, just don't give up hope on your kid, because they may be cutting themselves suicidal. Just always reassure them that they're loved by you, and just be loving, be caring, tell them that you'll help them get through it, and show them that Jesus loves them, because that's the greatest love. I was hurting, but now I'm healed, and I was lost, but now I'm found. I'm Alex Lindahl, and that was my story.